everyone, my name is Atari and I'm going to be making GANDULE rice. GANDULE is a Puerto Rican dish, and in Hawaii we had a lot of Portuguese immigrants, so they brought in their recipes to Hawaii, and a local favorite is GANDULE rice. I'm just going to make it my own style. I'm going to be adding cooked rice here. I'm going to have probably 7 or 8 cups of cooked rice. You want to get the medium to long grain rice. You don't want the short grain, which is sticky. 3 cloves of garlic, a bundle of cilantro. I'm going to use some achote seeds or annatto seeds, and we're going to make that into an oil. A half a tablespoon of cumin, half a tablespoon of oregano. I'm going to use half of this green olive, a can of the black olives, some chicken broth, some tomato paste, some pigeon peas, green pigeon peas or GANDULE verde, half a green bell pepper, and they asked for pork, but what I got was at the local Mexican store. I got chicharron, which is pigskin fried right here, and some pork that's already cooked. So that's a 1/4 pound, and I'm going to use a 1/4 pound of the chicharron. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the annatto or the achote, or in Mexico they call it achiote seeds, and it looks like this. And the lipstick tree in Hawaii. It has a really strong bright red color. It's a good natural food coloring, but it also gives off a unique taste. So I'm going to put that in the oil. I'm going to heat up the pot right now, and I'll show you what it looks like in a bit. Before I start anything, I put the oil in with the achote seeds, and I added a tablespoon of the achote seeds to about a cup, a little over probably a cup and a half of oil. And what you want to do is you want to bring it to bring the heat up, and you want these seeds to will make the oil turn orange, like a bright orange. So you're just going to stir that so that those flavors come through. And I'll show you what it looks like. And keep in mind, you don't want the oil on high heat, or else it'll change the taste of the oil and the achote. So I have it right now on under medium. Make sure you stir, or else it gets stuck to the bottom. You can see it's turning red right here. That's what gives it a nice orangey red color. So if you're allergic to red dyes, this is a good way of getting a natural coloring. And just do it for a couple of minutes, a few minutes. So I'm gonna take it off the stove and let it cool down, and while I do that, I'm gonna start on the vegetables and cut it, all the vegetables. With the bell pepper, I'm just gonna use a half of it, so I'm just gonna cut it in half, and I'll show you what that looks like. And you're gonna want to remove the membrane in here, the seeds. Some people don't like bell pepper. I personally don't care for green bell peppers, but once it's cooked down, it makes the flavor really taste good. So I decided I'm gonna keep that on, and for those who like bell peppers, I'll cut it in small little fine pieces, and I'll show you that. So I cut the green peppers, bell peppers, into small diced pieces. So I'm going to I'll cut up 3 cloves of garlic. So I diced up 3 cloves of garlic. Now I'm going to get a bunch of cilantro, a whole bunch, and I'm going to chop it. So this is a piece of ham that I got from the Mexican shop, and I cut up the cilantro, and there's some yet on there. You want to get every bit. And I'm just going to cut it into, kind of shred it or cut it into smaller pieces, and then I'm going to add the chicharron, the fried pig skin. So this is how I cut the meat. You can get your own, you can make your own pork by boiling it up, or extra leftover pork. I'm going to add chicharron, which is a fried pig skin. That's not a normal really thing to do, but this is my own way of doing it. If you don't want pork, you can add chicken or whatever you want to. This is your dish, but we're just kind of making it towards the Puerto Rican foods. Okay, so I have some oil in the pan here. I'm just going to add the meat to it, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the vegetables first, and then I'm going to add the meat. Add the cilantro, the green bell pepper, and the garlic in here to the oil. I'm going to add the pork in here as well. So here's the pork. So here's the pork skin. I got more in here I'm going to break apart, but they're pretty big pieces, so you want to make it into smaller pieces like this, and then we're going to add it to the pot. So that was a quarter pound of the chicharron, or the pig skin, fried pig skin, and a quarter of that ham, that pork, just like a smoked pork. And I'm just getting all those flavors in there. I'm going to add the cumin and the oregano. I lost my spoon, so I'm using a tablespoon, but I'm going to be using only half a tablespoon of ground cumin. And this is half a tablespoon of oregano. I couldn't find any oregano leaves, so you can use the ground oregano. I suggest you going to these Mexican markets. They're really reasonable. I only got this for 69 cents, and a lot of their products are very reasonable. I'm going to show you something that I was blown away by, and that was this. Where are we? You know saffron. Saffron is very expensive. If you just get a little saffron, it's like $10 for a little jar of saffron. I got this for 69 cents for saffron petals, and I used it already, and it's pretty good quality. So go to your local Mexican supermarket. It's really worth it, and you save a lot of money, and the people are awesome. So I have it. I'm going to mix up the cumin and the oregano. Ooh, and I wish you guys can smell this right now. It smells so wonderful. Cook it a little bit more, and then I'm going to add some of the chicken broth, the tomato paste. We're going to add the gandules, the pigeon peas, the olives, the green and the black olives, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Oh, also, you want to season it with salt. So I just add maybe a half a tablespoon of sea salt. Okay, so I drained the gandules. You can add half a can if you want to, but I like gandule. This is just green pigeon peas. I like the taste of that. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some stock right now because it's kind of burning and I just want it to cook a little bit better. So let me open that right now. Okay, for now I'm just going to add, let's see, I'm going to add 3/4 of the broth in here. And if I need more, I'll add more. I want this to come up to a simmer. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna cut up some olives, and green olives and black olives. Let's see what that looks like, and I'm gonna add some tomato paste. I wish you guys can smell this. It smells so good. I really love the taste of green olives, especially when it's cooked down. It brings the broth, it makes a nice broth. Black olives are good too, but when you add the green olives, it just makes such a difference. So I just thought I'd suggest you that as the Spanish olives. Also, I want to let you know that oftentimes the green olives have pits in it. So you're just gonna have to, it's really nice and oily. You're gonna have to just use your finger and take them out from the pits. This is the pits right here. You don't want to be eating those, getting a nice pit in your gandule rice. You won't like it at all. So I'm just going to do the same thing. This is already pitted, but you can find green olives that are pitted already. So I've added the green olives to the meat vegetable mixture here. And then I'm going to add the black olives now. I have it on medium heat now. I've put it up. Okay, I changed my mind on the olives. I was going to add half a can of olives, but I just love olives. So I added the whole thing. I just kind of mushed it with my hand, leaving some whole. And I added a few more, about 6 more of that green olives. And that looks really nice. What's gandule rice without olives? So now I'm going to add some tomato paste. It's important that you use tomato paste versus tomato sauce, because tomato paste has it's more concentrated, and it just has a different taste to. Oops, sorry, it has a different taste than tomato sauce. It's a lot more concentrated. So I'm going to add that, and that was a 6 ounce of the Hunt's tomato paste. So I'm going to add the remaining of the chicken broth, and this is a low sodium chicken broth that I got, organic. Since if you have a Safeway in your area, or Vaughn's or Albertsons, this is the organic one, low fat, and this is 32 ounces. So I'm going to let that simmer away. I'm going to cover that up. Yeah, so I covered that up, and I just want to also remind you about Hawaii. Hawaii is a melting pot in the Pacific, if you haven't seen my recipes before. In Hawaii, we have Chinese influences, Portuguese, Filipino, Hawaiian, Japanese, Korean, and even Caucasian. So, you know, we've learned to pretty much appreciate each other's cultures and then make it into a whole new type of fusion type of food. So if you see anybody's watching this that's Puerto Rican or Portuguese, you can see a twist to this. And I hope you guys can try it and not feel so limited on what you guys have been brought up to, because this is going to be really delicious. We call it ono in Hawaiian. So let me show you the rice with the achote. Okay, so this is the rice that I cooked earlier. It's the basmati rice. I let it cool down, and I got that oil with the anato or achote seeds, and I don't want those seeds to come into my rice. So either you can strain it, or I'm just gonna like use a spoonful at a time. I'm just gonna mix it up. So if you get the seed, make sure you do take it out. You don't want that. It's very bitter, or it kind of has a funky taste if you do it that way. So I'm just gonna add that for now, and I'm gonna mix it with two of the spoons. Okay, so I used all of that oil. I did not add those seeds in there. It got stuck in here, but I took it out. But see how nice and orange this is? You want that to soak up. So I'm gonna let that soak up while this meat cooks. I'll show you what the meat looks like now. So I have this on medium, but you see how that is? If you're Filipino, you know this kind of looks like pork casantes a bit. If you want to add a little spice to it, I was going to add some Portuguese sausage to this. That would have been really nice. But this is good right here. You see all that chicharron has turned into more like a fatty type of thing. But it's going to taste really, really good. I promise you. You could have probably left a couple of it on the side and just like crunched it all up. But see, all that liquid is gone. I might add a little bit more liquid just to cook this a little bit more down. So I'm just going to add just a little bit more and more salt. So I added half a bottle of water because I want all of this vegetables and stuff to cook down more. So I'm going to cover that up on medium heat and let it cover again. And I added some salt to that as well. And meanwhile, when you're cooking, it's a good time when you can just clean up everything so that when your meal is complete, you can just eat and just wash your own dish. But it's good to, this downtime is good for things. Okay, this is what patele is. And one day I hope to cook this. It's very hot. He had to steam it and actually put it in the water. And you can see some of the achote oil in there. And the banana leaf. So I'm just going to throw that over there. And the banana leaf is what keeps it oily as well. But you see the banana and the taro mashed up. Ooh, it's hot. And it has a meat mixture in with some of the olives. So I'm just gonna get that, put it to the side, and you can either mix it up with your gandule rice or just eat it on the side like that. I'm just gonna take a nice picture of this. Looks like, and enjoy. I know it looks kind of funky looking, but it actually really tastes good. When you mix it together, it tastes even better. So I hope you guys can try this out. This is good for a family party, and you will not be disappointed. Everybody tonight has sampled it, and they just love it. Thank you. Aloha.